said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
I see. Now that you mention it, I completely forgot about that matter.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator. Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
I agree. What does this mean? It's fairly obvious. If the two houses are connected vertically, the position of the tower should be the same in both houses. But in fact, when my back was facing the elevator in Grape House, the tower was on my right. And when my back was facing the elevator in Strawberry House, the tower was on my left. How can I break through this contradiction? Alright, let's grab the evidence that I know we need, which would be Kazuichi's account of the elevator compass thing.
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both
That's
houses,
correct.
if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
No, they're not, because it rotates. Why is that wrong?
Damn it!
Maybe I need to just look at what they're going to say first.
If the two houses
Jumping
are
the gun
connected
again.
vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, if the the towers are in
Which means your reasoning.
is clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
So Gunda and Sonia have matching arguments. It sounds like it makes sense, but is it really correct? What does Kazuichi's account actually say? Am I thinking of the wrong thing? Yeah, the compass...
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
Oh, it moves vertically and horizontally. There we go.
No, that's wrong. The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi? Huh? Me? Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
You really are a dense person.
Rotated 180 degrees? Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees. It was probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side. Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
It's not that hard.
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all! You're inhuman!
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with. I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now.
He's kind
long as you know
of
what
expressing
an
my
octagon
annoyance
means,
with these people and their
solve this
terrible,
simple mystery
terrible
easily.
deductive skills sometimes. It's funny. what an octagon means. It's an 8-sided shape.
If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I didn't expect you to know that.
What?
For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable. I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
The place befitting of the name Octagon. It's probably... It connects to the first floor of Strawberry House, so like... It would have to be over here.
Here!
Outside of Strawberry House.
You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
Why is that place the octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learn?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the Funhouse, which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the Funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
Alright, simmer down. The Funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon. What does this mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? And who is the killer that did that? Suspended.
Hiya!
Why, hello there! I thought of a new bad word to call Monami. I can already tell I won't be pleased by this. Then let me say it right away. I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Monami is a serious Stufatli. That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stufatli, huh? That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack. Incorporating all three of these would be... Ta-da! Stufatli. There's a fat hidden in there?
Okay, everyone, all together now. Monami is a serious Stufatli.
Alrighty then. Yes.
Hello! I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently. I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead. Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily? I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Nekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Akane, you're drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building's structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged, but if he was beaten senseless, as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, wouldn't it be a kill that it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So what was Nekomaru's cause of death that also utilized the building structure? Falling.
I see! That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. Alright, let's see what we've got here before I jump to any conclusions. I am going to go ahead and use the broken doorknob first, because I have a feeling that's part of it.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open.
I'm going to go ahead with moving object.
Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
So I have a feeling what they actually did was put him to sleep.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
When the elevator is on the... You can't go through the door.
It'd be impossible to
Then, after locking they moved the and made use of the drop.
Hold on. As long as there's a moving object inside.
There we go.
No, that's wrong! That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me. Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
A way to create a drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. Chiaki seems to have an idea, but what way could that be? Alright, what are we doing here? I am going to use the wire.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
Don't want to contradict Chiaki.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
No.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
Nope.
What about the oil on the floor?
Nope.
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
There we go.
I agree with that. Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
Right in one.
That's right. He was suspended in midair. Huh? The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence!
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Oh, wonderful.
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that. Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Alright, let's see. I'm gonna say the hammer, because I have a feeling that the hammer was used to, like, weight him down or something, maybe. Or maybe the alarm timer. Yeah, the alarm timer, like, startles him into waking up.
How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off.
Oh, the controller!
They
No!
could do that.
You stupid technical problems! It turns off at random times. I got it plugged in and everything.
There's no one in the tower to push him off.
It won't let me...
There's no way they
let
could
me
do
do
that.
anything here.
Damn it! Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall?
Do I only have
There's no
3?
one in the tower to
It's
push
not
him
the
off.
controller. There's like no cuts
No way
available
they could
here.
do that.
I have to be so careful here.
Damn it!
I'm thinking my controller's broken
Even
and
if they
it's...
suspended Nekomaru from a... How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
I see! Clever.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
Whoops.
Crap! What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
There we go. Right.
Allow me to cut through those words. What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected. which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... In that case, I shall use my full power! Hurrah! With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But... Not yet. Here it comes. The incredible strength of 1,000,000 horsepower. Gwah! Wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. If that's really what it was, then that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to
I
find.
see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
Alright, have your breakdown somewhere else, Kazuichi.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Good lord.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy, he gets off on this.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
It doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I can think that happened to him was... what came out of his eyes? He collided with the pillar!
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know.
Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. I'm gonna say radio clock, because I have a feeling they're gonna try and say his clock was
We headed
wrong.
for Grape Tower.
But we'll see. I'm gonna let it play
Before
out.
7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Can't do that.
No, that's wrong!
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
This time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Alright, another logic dive. Let's do this. I will open my snowboard to find the truth. Alright, here we go. Come on. Give me a question already. What did Hajime and the others misunderstand? The time in the building. There's 3 options now. It's getting more complicated. Oh! Oh, this is more difficult! Oh! It's hard to jump vertically like that, or horizontally, or... yeah, horizontally like that. Jumping, like, sideways and around this kind of hexagonal shape is complicated. Come on. Okay, come on. Alright, jump back. There we go. And jump back. Aha! Question 2. Which clock was tampered with? The building's clocks, which I can't get to in time! Can't tamper with Nekomaru's radio clock, so it can't be both, so it has to be the building's clocks. Yes! Ah! Question, please. Thank you. Question 3. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses. Because they all showed the same time, which means all the houses had to have the wrong time.
It's all coming together. You checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks had been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
She's right, that's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm gonna reach the truth in one go! Let's see. Let's see what Akane's account is, and Fuyuhiko's account.
If the time...
Alright, let's see what these accounts say. Akane says she heard a rumbling noise at 5:30, so that means the clock was off by 2 hours, so I'll go with her account.
Then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
Unless we're gonna have a Phoenix Wright thing where it was off by 14 hours.
It's clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
It's the sound when he fell.
There's no point in saying that.
So Akane...
If does not exist in this world.
I want to use Akane's account on the rumbling
It's a
sound.
time in the build, then we can only rely the time of which clearly 7.
The problem is, what time? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow?
If only I heard the sound when you fell.
I agree with that.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
Wait, someone else didn't hear it. Nagito didn't hear it.
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
If that rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30, it's like the answer to how much time was off is literally right in front of me.
I see!
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure out only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing? If they were trying to lure out Nekomaru only, the specific thing is... Monokuma Tai Chi.
See,
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
we were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
And when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Jeez, how outrageous! I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar.
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Can I look at my evidence? In Strawberry House, the only person that didn't come out of his room was Nagito.
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
But I don't think Nagito actually did it.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there.
He didn't hear it.
It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't?
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noises were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. Could this also be a secret that points to the killer? I think it's going to say deluxe rooms. Now it's just a matter of, getting the letters. Give me an X. Oops. Just hit the wrong button. There we go. Whew.
I got it!
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
Nagito, why do you seem to think that the value of human beings is based on one high school in Japan?
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow, I feel I understand what Nagito means. And I have a terrible feeling I do too. Give me 1 second to check these. I don't think any of these actually say who was staying in what tower, or in what room. The killer among us? The killer who murdered Nekomaru. Well, Gundam, Fuyuhiko, and Kazuichi were in the lounge. Sonia and Chiaki were in deluxe rooms, as was Nagito, leaving just Akane Oware. Except that that's wrong. I heard the rumbling but didn't come out of my room. Gundam was there. I'm so confused. I'm gonna run out of time trying to pick somebody. I was in a crummy room but didn't come out. So just me. I didn't think that was correct, but I'm just guessing. I'm gonna have to just kind of guess here. It's gotta be either...
Crap! Crap!
I'm so confused, I don't remember who was staying in what rooms. Wait, somebody was staying in a deluxe room who shouldn't have heard the alarm, and yet came out anyway. Who was in a deluxe room? I don't remember. Why is that not in my evidence?
You're the only one!
Okay! By process of elimination.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Why did you give me your freaking underwear?
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
I feel like kind of an idiot now. But I just couldn't remember what rooms everybody was in.
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right?
It would have been a nice clue to have in my notebook game.
Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me? after you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room, just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey, what are you doing? This ruckus. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the netherworld, bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this. Including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction, how many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
So you're using your fake superpowers as an excuse.
Is that your argument?
Bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?